So what is two-factor authentication? Factor one is what? Logging in with a password. And factor two is like have another device or another channel through which you can confirm, yeah, that's me.
Yes. Usually this happens through some kind of text. You get your one-time code from Bank of America or from Google. The better way to do it is spend $20 buying yourself a FIDO key on Amazon. That's a hardware device. And if you don't have that hardware device with you, then you're not going to get in.
Yeah.
And the whole goal is, basically, my first half of my decade at the Times was spent covering like the cop beat. It was like Home Depot got breached, News at 11, Target, Neiman Marcus, like who wasn't hacked over the course of those 5 years? And a lot of those companies that got hacked, what did hackers take? They took the credentials, they took the passwords. They can make a pretty penny selling them on the dark web, and people reuse their passwords. So you get one from, God knows who, I don't know, LastPass. The worst case example, actually, LastPass. But you get one, and then you go test it on their email account, and you go test it on their brokerage account, and you test it on their cold storage account.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But if you have multi-factor authentication, then they can't get in because they might have your password, but they don't have your phone. They don't have your FIDO key, and so you keep them out. And, I get a lot of alerts that tell me someone is trying to get into your Instagram account or your Twitter account or your email account. And I don't worry because I use multi-factor authentication. They can try all day. Okay, I worry a little bit, but it's the simplest thing to do, and we don't even do it.
Well, there's an interface aspect to it because it's pretty annoying if it's implemented poorly.
Yeah.
So actually bad implementation of two-factor authentication, not just bad, but just something that adds friction is a security vulnerability, I guess, because it's really annoying. Like, I think MIT for a while had two-factor authentication. It was really annoying. The number of times it pings you, like, it asks to re-authenticate across multiple subdomains. Like, it just feels like a pain. I don't know what the right balance there.
Yeah. It feels like friction in our frictionless society.
Yeah.
It feels like friction. It's annoying. That's security's biggest problem. It's annoying. We need the Steve Jobs of security to come along, and we need to make it painless. And actually, on that point, Apple has probably done more for security than anyone else simply by introducing biometric authentication, first with the fingerprint and then with Face ID. And it's not perfect, but if you think just 8 years ago, everyone was running around with either no passcode, an optional passcode, or a 4-digit passcode on their phone that anyone, think of what you can get when you get someone's iPhone, if you steal someone's iPhone. And props to them for introducing the fingerprint and Face ID. And again, it wasn't perfect, but it was a huge step forward. Now it's time to make another huge step forward. I want to see the password die. It's gotten us as far as it was ever going to get us. And I hope whatever we come up with next is not going to be annoying. It's going to be seamless.
When I was at Google, that's what we worked on there's a lot of ways to call it active authentication or passive authentication. So basically you use biometric data, not just like a fingerprint, but everything from your body to identify who you are, like movement patterns. So basically create a lot of layers of protection where it's very difficult to fake, including like face unlock, checking that it's your actual face, like the liveness tests. So like from video, so unlocking it with video, voice, the way you move the phone, the way you take it out of the pocket, that kind of thing. All of those factors. It's a really hard problem, though.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's very difficult to beat the password in terms of security.
Well, there's a company that I actually will call out, and that's Abnormal Security. So they work on email attacks. And it was started by a couple guys who were doing, I think, ad tech at Twitter. So, ad technology now, like, it's a joke how much they know about us. You always hear the conspiracy theories that, You saw someone's shoes, and next thing you know, it's on your phone.
Yeah.
It's amazing what they know about you. Um, and they're basically taking that and they're applying it to attacks. So they're saying, okay, this is what your email patterns are. It might be different for you and me because we're emailing strangers all the time. But for most people, their email patterns are pretty predictable. And if something strays from that pattern, that's abnormal.
Mhm.
And they'll block it, they'll investigate it, and that's great. Let's start using that kind of targeted ad technology to protect people. And yeah, I mean, it's not going to get us away from the password and using multi-factor authentication, but the technology is out there and we just have to figure out how to use it in a really seamless way, because it doesn't matter if you have the perfect security solution if no one uses it. I mean, when I started at the Times, when I was trying to be really good about protecting sources, I was trying to use PGP encryption, and it's like, it didn't work. The number of mistakes I would probably make just trying to email someone with PGP just wasn't worth it.
Mhm.
And then Signal came along, and Signal made it wicker. They made it a lot easier to send someone an encrypted text message. So we have to start investing in creative minds, in good security design. I really think that's the hack that's going to get us out of where we are today.